Transformers universe died so Transformers Reactivate could live. I pretty much just want to take this video because I've just been literally looking at Transformers universe again for like, again, no particular reason, but like looking at Transformers universe in like, I don't know, I got hit with like some retrospective in hindsight. It's like looking at it, I'm not sure how many of you guys know Transformers universe or like the entire situation behind it. Maybe that's a future topic, but here, just to read off like the, I guess, intro of the game or the summary of the game. Transformers Universe is an upcoming massively multiplayer online action game where users can join the Autobots or the Decepticons in their ongoing war. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Again, you guys who follow me for Reactivate, that's going to sound very similar for the most part, right? Massively, like a massively multiplayer online game, Autobots, Decepticons, Earth is like absolutely like the center point, right? I don't know, like looking at it in retrospective and like looking at a bunch of the gameplay systems for like you guys who know it, it's just like, oh man. I know, honestly, like a lot of people were upset that this game never came to be, me included. But it's just like looking at it, you can see the hallmarks, not to make fun of it, but it's like you can see the hallmarks of what Hasbro wanted out of a TF game, in which thus they have now like, it's like raising like a son in your image or something, you know what I mean? Like you can see how Reactivate has been made through Hasbro's like arms and like pushing it towards what they want the game to be based off what Transformers Universe was. Because obviously Transformers Universe was like their, if I remember correctly, if not, this was at least one of their earlier takes, if not their first take at what they wanted for like a large scale Transformers game. I know obviously the game doesn't like, comparing it one-to-one like for Reactivate, it's not exactly entirely one-to-one. Obviously, there are a lot of key differences. I don't think the scale is quite there, honestly. But looking at it from like the like huge roster of characters to the way items, levels, and abilities work, I mean, bro, and like even down to some of the gameplay is not like exactly like Reactivate, but you can see what I mean is that you can see the inspiration. You can see where Transformers Reactivate kind of got a lot of its like core crux identities. Obviously, now I've said in the past, War for Cybertron is an extreme key heavy hitter in what Reactivate gameplay is like. Extreme. And obviously Transformers Universe is no different, taking upon those old games as well, right? It's an iteration on a key formula, a successful key formula that has worked, right? I mean, those games, those older Cybertron games are beloved till this day, right? So of course that base formula works so well for these type of games and they would carry it forward in these new iterations. Obviously, rest in peace, Transformers Universe, but looking at it, it just, God, like, man, what happened? Like, maybe this is just because, I get, for you guys who have been following, obviously, the Transformers Cybertron game situation, that's ongoing, but it's looking likely that the games will be returning. Now, obviously, for anyone who's also been following, recently, we literally just got Transformers Alliance. That game got brought back from the dead. Now, I'm not about to say it, bro, what if... What if Transformers Universe comes back? That brings, okay, that's an entire like different story, because like why would they bring that game back to then fight in the similar, maybe it's not, I don't think like it would fight against Reactivate per se, because it's not like a looter shooter live service. But like, do you think they would want to bring out something like that, especially because like that game, while it was out for like a portion of time, it's like it still basically would be considered brand new. Though at this point, maybe it has aged. But then again, with the Cybertron games returning, I don't know. It could be. But it's just like, I was looking at a bunch of systems, a bunch of the gameplay, and it's like, oh my. And then I was like thinking in the back of my head, because obviously I just covered it, like with those games returning, could you imagine Transformers Universe coming back? Oh my God. And then followed up with Reactivate. But it would go for, could you imagine all the heavy hitters being brought back? Because as far as I'm aware with Transformers Universe, again, I haven't looked too deeply into it. It's something maybe, let me know in the comments below. It might be something I'll check out. But as far as I'm aware, it kind of just had its development stopped. I'm not sure if it was in relation to how much interest the game garnered, whether it went over budget, or if it was studio related. I can't remember. I know it was made primarily by Jagex. I don't know off the top of my head if it was studio transferred or anything, how to Reactivate is. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable on it currently, but maybe I'll dig into that. But that would be interesting. Like, honestly, maybe it's like shit to say, but like, honestly, I'm glad that, okay, maybe that's a bad way to put it. Like, I'm not want to say I'm glad this game died so Reactivate could live, but like, Reactivate is so like much better in terms of like its potential and throughput in terms of where it's idealized has like pinned, right? The idea that it was set to be has pinned in a better direction than what Universe is, just from like maybe a casual perspective on look. At least in my time, like, I guess it's personal preference, right? Like maybe you would rather Universe than live service looter shooter. But I don't know, looking at Reactivate again, like maybe it's hard for you guys because like obviously you guys don't know too much about the game. Maybe some of you guys have been following me a lot, you know. I mean, like I made that big video with like the story, the gameplay, the trailer, development history. Go watch that. It's probably on screen or something now if you want to know like all about there is to be Reactivate. Like that's literally one and done, probably like my most concise video, 30 minutes, and you literally know everything there is possibly to know within the past 7 years of the game. But like looking at Universe, I just can't help but look at it. I'm like, I don't want to say it foreshadows or foretells what Reactivate would end up like for like maybe a casual onlooker's perspective. But like if you do look at like the bunch of the trailers, maybe it's playing in the background, I'm not sure. But like it gives you like that essence, right? In percents, like you could apply this to what you've seen from Reactivate. And you could very like, bro, like down to the items and consumables to like just the barracks, multiple characters, how abilities are integrated and stuff like that. Obviously, again, I know War for Cybertron, right, and Fall of Cybertron, like again, like you could make the same comparisons. I would argue this game more closely aligns, at least in the way the abilities function, the roster and stuff like that. I know War and Fall had like a decent selection, but the way this is like shown to the player, how it's more functioning as like a game you actually go in and like play, you know what I mean? Like a grindy game. What's the word I'm looking for? Like proper RPG mechanics. That would be it. I know like Fall of Cybertron had like, it wasn't that deep, bro. It wasn't that deep. Like it had like super surface level RPG mechanics, where Universe definitely has like a lot more. Like, I mean, bro, I don't know if it's on screen. You have like an entire stat sheet. Like, and then looking on it, it's like, you can see like from like the energon mines to like literally the way the abilities function and the combat is definitely not like Reactivate for sure. Reactivate's a lot more similar in essence to War for Cybertron, like I've said in the past. This game's definitely different, but we're like looking at it, man, I'm like, I still think, would that be crazy if the games came back like this one came back again? I don't know how this ended. Maybe let me know in the comments. I'll probably look it up after this. I probably should have looked it up beforehand, but it's kind of funny. Like looking at this, I'm like wondering, because surely this would have been used for inspiration, right? For Reactivate. There's no way, like, because obviously we know G1 was used as a heavy inspirance for what Transformers Reactivate came to be. I'm not sure, right? I guess to be, right? So, but obviously, this game, Universe, I mean, you can see it by on screen. I don't think I need to tell you. Bayverse is very big inspiration. Obviously, it came out around that era, that time. So, but like, I would assume this was used as influence because obviously like, again, G1, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, those games were also used along with a bunch of other material. That was like the core focus crux. But then there's no way this was not used as like, just based off the similarities, right? Like open world roaming, enemies, health shield, abilities, RPG systems, stats, and like even down to like, obviously I know Reactivate doesn't have like a radar anymore, but obviously like if you looked in the development history video, like at one point it did have a radar. I wonder if that's where it came from, because obviously like War for Cybertron didn't have a radar. Oh god, I think I'm cooked. I can't remember. Did Fall of Cybertron had a radar? I don't think it did. Oh god, I'm cooked. I haven't played the game in a while. Anyway, like, oh my dude, like looking at it, it's like you can literally see like if you discount the fact that it's like prime Bayverse era, you could see a lot of it being translated to how basically it functions in Reactivate. which I thought was quite interesting. I don't know, I kind of just wanted to speak on it, to be honest, because I thought it was pretty cool, and I wanted to bring up the fact that it'd be a sick idea to bring it back, guys. Hasbro, if you're listening. I mean, you brought back Transformers Alliance. You're bringing back, or supposedly are bringing back, like War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. You basically remade the entirety of Transformers Devastation in Minecraft. Like, what else are we going to bring back at this point? All I'm saying, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Like, I would recommend taking a look at like the Transformers universe. It would probably be in like the description or comments, like the official YouTube channel, because they've got a whole bunch of stuff from like the game overview of the game, how like introduction to Autobots, Decepticons, like literally per character. I'm not even joking. Like, it's not just like, oh, these are the Autobots. It's like, it's actually like a full introduction to like an entire character, the skill set, the lot, right? Which is just like absolutely crazy, at least from my point of view, right? Like, oh my, maybe this sounds bad for Reactivate at this point, but it's like all this work was done for this game, and then it just got canned. What about Reactivate? We haven't even got this far, bro. Oh no, dude, we're actually cooked. We didn't even get this far, bro. Our trailer already gone. Oh my, we haven't even got bios of characters. We don't even know what the official like release roster is at this point. Everything is so old in regards to leaks that it literally means nothing. Like, if you would just want to outright state that as fact, like it's true, anything from certain Affinity or that old garbage is completely irrelevant. And even like stuff I've leaked in regards to UE5, I'm sure a lot of it holds, and I do hold by my word on that. But at the same time, it's like, the years keep clocking on. What's it going to be at this point? Again, like, unless the game gets delayed like another 5 years, I think like 99% of my stuff holds almost entirely, because it stayed like that for the past few years it's been on Unreal 5. And it's like, come on, in a few years you can't change a lot of the core features, or at least unless they're going to be pulling in some like mad external studio help, which at this point I don't think so. We would have heard something about that, it would have got leaked. With that being said, though, I also thought it was kind of funny seeing like the hangar tutorial on like the barracks. The irony calling it the hangar. We have a hangar in Reactivate. Even down to like the hub of this game, which is kind of funny. Like, it's within this like silo pit, which I swear to God is like exactly what Reactivates is. I don't know the entire situation behind where exactly the hub is in the game. I just know what the hub looks like in all of its internals, and I know it is within some form of like underground section, because I know it has a massive silo going up. So that, I kind of thought that was funny looking at this. Whether it's on screen or not, I don't know. But like, there's literally like this massive silo in this based hub. Again, I think that comes mostly from Prime. I'm not too familiar with Prime, so forgive me, but I swear their hangar was also based within a silo. Again, I'm not tell me in the comments below. I'll be honest, I think so. I could be wrong, but I thought that was really interesting. Looking at the general overall aesthetic is like really cool as well, honestly. Like, but like, come on, man. Hasbro, you gotta bring this back, or at least we gotta get something for this Reactivate, bro. You don't have like all these barracks at all. Like, looking at this stuff, it just makes me so mad, like, that we don't have any of this Reactivate. Like, this was done like 10 years ago. Like, this is a decade old, and they did this like almost to perfection, and they got like their ass canned for it. Like, what do we have with Reactivate? Literally less than nothing. Where it's like, god damn, bro. Like, what is so hard to give us like something, anything at this point? You know what I mean? I'm looking, bro. I need more. Say less. Like, need more be said. I'm looking at Transformers Universe a decade after it got canned. A decade after it got canned. Oh, talking about Transformers Reactivate. I wonder. Actually, no, I don't think that would have been. I don't think Reactivate. Maybe Reactivate would have been in. I don't think it would have been in concept by the time. Nah, that'd be too long ago. Maybe the idea was floating around. Again, that's why I kind of think like the idea of like that live service, large scale Transformers game. They wanted to do it with Universe. However, it fell through. And then I think Reactivate kicked up as basically a solution to that proposement, right? Because again, You guys know, following me, or if you know about like the 2.0 Hasbro vision, how they want to like flesh out their games division and their multimedia on stuff like that, right? That's why they've been going so hard with the movies. That's why they're merging continuities with like Transformers and GI Joe and MLP and the rest of it, right? Across all of their IPs, they're trying to merge, trying to be a cohesive, and trying to, I guess, wiggle their way into like all multimedia, be that games, movies, shows, toys, right? They want to get away from being just a toy company. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to bother going into that tangent because I don't think you guys really care, but that's basically it. And it's that is where the idea and core crux of Reactivate has come from. And we've seen that with Universe. We've seen that in the past. They want to flesh out the division. I've spoke about this before. It's like, oh, I just noticed at the end on the game, it's literally got Hasbro Gaming. Isn't that kind of ironic that we just had the new, oh, what was it? We had the new like trademarks and stuff like that for, oh, was it? No, it was Transformers Gaming as well. It's literally the exact same thing. They had that like entire legal stuff and trademarks redone. Is that not kind of, oh no, that's kind of ironic. I'm like connecting the dots right now. It's like, oh my, yeah, I don't know. Where was I? Right. Oh, another thing that I thought was kind of interesting is maybe I'm just connecting the dots here too much. I'm going like full conspiracy theorist at this point. TransformersUniverse.com. Literally the exact same thing that I know the site is not live, TransformersReactivate.com. I know for some reason people like don't believe me, like it's an actual site. I don't know what to tell you. It was made by the American branch, ex-Athlon, now Splash Damage, their American branch, because obviously Splash Damage, UK-based studio, handed back over, what was it, late last year or early this year? Sometime. It's in my development video. They basically handed over the website, TransformersReactivate.com. It's been made, it's been done. It's basically the core backend crux of the site. In essence, you could argue basically it'll mirror whatever Transformers Universe did, right? Sign up, beta, all that stuff, right? I'm looking at it right now, so hopefully it's on screen, but it's literally like hashtag test your metal, transformersuniverse.com, sign up now. And it was like beta and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'm like going crazy at this point, but that is literally what Transformers Reactivate.com is meant to be. Because I know many people will be like, oh, okay, play TFR. That's the Transformers Reactivate website. Okay, yeah, but it's not meant to be like a full account integration backend site. What do I mean by that? Well, for you guys who know Warframe, or hell, Destiny, just because everyone knows that at this point, it's the equivalent of Bungie.net, right, for Destiny, or its better equivalent would be like Warframe, right, like Warframe.com. Again, like I know many people are, oh, plays TFR, but it's not. Like it's not a proper. It's just meant to be like PlayTFR.com was meant to just be like it basically was just a spin-up site that got externally contracted out to just be like an info portion on the game. I'm not exactly sure why that was actually done. If I had to guess, okay, maybe this makes a little bit more sense. It was probably because the TransformersReactivate.com domain and website wasn't built until, oh, when was it? My memory. It's in the video. I swear it started at like around the end after we got our announcement trailer. Somewhere around there towards the end of 2023, it was fully finalized. So maybe that makes sense looking at it in hindsight, right? That's why you would contract out the Play TFR website and have it just be like some shallow brand site. Not to shit on the people who made it. It's got some cool Easter eggs and stuff like that. If you like use broken links, it'll be like Decepticons, whatever. But like that is in essence what it is, right? Don't get it twisted, but it's not like an account integrator. Because remember, this Transformers Reactivate is meant to have like a full-on launcher. It is meant to be like Warframe in that regard, where you boot up the game from whatever platform, and then it boots into a launcher. And then from there, you sign in with your, I guess, equivalent Warframe account. It would be your Transformers Reactivate account. You sign into that. Remember, that's how they pull their data. That's how they pull their stats. And that's probably how... I wonder if they'll integrate microtransactions through that. Because I know that's how a bunch of the launchers do it, right? They utilize the... No, I'd assume they'd also have it via platforms like Steam, PSN. I think they might be forced to integrate that way. I'm not sure. Wasn't that like some kind of whole FNAFL with Apple and Fortnite, how they were like sideloading, or they weren't paying in relation to V-Bucks or something? I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, that's side tangent. But where was I? Right. So again, that kind of mirrors it with the fact that the site, the beta sign up, how it's meant to be integrated into a proper like inbuilt app. So obviously, again, it's a launcher. It's not just like you go on Steam, you boot up, Reactivate boots up. It's like you have to boot up the launcher, then log into the game, then boot in. You guys have seen the login screens. You guys know what I'm talking about. Again, it's like, or everything from like, oh, dude, you guys should really go check out if you haven't like Universe, or just look at it. Maybe I'm just like looking at it and kind of like, just like, where is Reactivate stuff, bro? Like, why do we not have this for Reactivate? Bro, we better one day, bro. There's no way they don't like kick up marketing and don't just clone this out. I mean, they saw how well it worked last time, right? Bro, could you imagine, oh man, the amount of content, like, just make a new video on every new character. The fact that they've got like, bro, it is literally like 30, 40-minute videos, like developer insights per character. Oh, dude, the amount of content I could make with that. Like, I'm just being selfish at this point, but like, could you imagine getting that for Reactivate? The amount of characters, how you could do that with the enemies as well, right? All right, how to face off against Sentinel troopers, Rocketeers, snipers, wardens, sentinels, not sentinels, sirens, right? Brutes. There's so many of them. There's so much they could do in this, like, looking at it. They better not fumble this, bro. All I'm saying is, like, they've had the catalog to do this. They've had so long. Something better have come, like, from this. Again, I still think it would be super neat to have it come back, personally. If anything, just to see the revitalization, like, yeah, revitalization of those designs. Because honestly, maybe it's been on screen, but like, there have been some cool ass designs, bro. I don't mind the Bayverse designs personally. I definitely have more of a lean towards like Reactivates or like Transformers Alliance style designs, just because maybe it's just because like I'm nostalgic towards like G1 and like that more iconic. Oh, I don't want to say iconic. That's kind of bad. Iconic to me, basically. Iconic to me designs. I like Bayverse what it is, and I think it's unique, definitely. But I would like to see those come back in some portion. I know I've had a bunch of people like ask me over like the years, are we going to have Transformers Prime skins? Are we going to have Bayverse skins? Are we going to have this? Are we going to have that? And it's like, genuinely, the answer is basically stuck same for as many years as I've been answering that question. It's like, potential is there, but I don't know, right? Because again, it's like, it is within Hasbro's IP. They have access to all of this. This isn't like some external collab, like brand integration where the licensing has expired, right? Like, they're not trying to get like, it's not like a payday situation where they're trying like, or like they've lost DLC because they don't have like the licenses anymore, right? It's literally like, this is all Transformers. This is all under their IP. They could literally pull it in if they wanted to. Now, whether or not they want to mix designs like that, whether they want to like, maybe, because you could argue maybe that would throw off continuity. I don't know, like if they're going that deep with it. But even then, I personally think, again, like maybe, okay, it's going to come down to like if you're a story like nerd, basically, as bad as it sounds. Like if you're a lore nerd, you're going to be pissed if the story just randomly, like if you're seeing like a Transformers Bayverse Prime design in Reactivate. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But then from like a gameplay Andy perspective, I'm just like, gameplay, a skin doesn't mean like shit to me. I don't care if it like it looks off or whatever. It personally doesn't bother me. And again, like me, it depends if they were like one-to-one integrated or if like they were adapted designs, right? Because it's like, I don't think they would like one-to-one integrate the designs because again, the game's 10 years old. I'm sure it's possible to move assets and stuff like that. I mean, people are still porting stuff into Gmod at this point, so take that for what you will. But like even adaptive designs, like them bringing up to like the UE5 new spec and stuff like that. Because again, that's why I've said in the past, it's like the character models. Again, like some of you guys on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, shameless. I mean, we're 23 minutes in at this point, like you're clearly that deep. But it's like the Transformers Reactivate toys. I need to talk about those as well. They've been hitting like store shelves. It's just like full tilting me. But like that's another video in itself. It's like those toys were made based off designs from the certain Affinity era of development back in like 2017. And people have pointed out, like I did when the toys first got shown off and leaked, and now everyone else is starting to point out to me, like I don't know. Bro, I told everyone, they don't look the same. They look off in comparison to the screenshots of the characters we've seen from modern game on the back of the boxes. Right? Now you could say, okay, maybe we'll look at Transformers Universe. Adapted designs, well, would that be no different to basically what the adapted designs of certain Affinity era stuff to splash damage stuff is, right? Because there are differences. You can say a lot of the key traits maybe have stuck, but if you look at some of the older designs, I mean, even within the certain Affinity era itself, they are vastly different, right? There were a lot of different designs, right? So, I mean, what's, that could be done, right? If that's how you want to integrate a skin. And remember, that doesn't just apply to me saying Transformers Universe. I'm just using it as an example because it's kind of what the video is based off. But like Prime, Bayverse, but that extends to stuff like Cybertron Trilogy, Armada, right? That extends to stuff like, hell, even games like War and Fall of Cybertron, which arguably have really distinct designs, right? Like, especially, like, Fall and War of Cybertron literally emit, like, this, maybe this ages me, but it's like the early 2000s era gaming PCs, right? Like, when we first got, like, RGB LEDs. Oh my. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, it looks like that era, which honestly I think gives quite a lot of like visual charm to the games personally, and kind of a little bit of nostalgia. But again, it's like they could translate those as well. Now, I would be a big proponent for that. I would love to be able to play like some of my fan favorite War for Cybertron characters in their original designs translated in for Reactivate. Because obviously, again, maybe there's a problem with this because maybe you could argue stuff like maybe Soundwave and Shockwave with their ults, or Megatron and his ult, maybe the ults don't line up, right? So maybe you've got a proponent there, which maybe that needs to be addressed. You could maybe do like, again, if it's an interpretation of the skin, maybe they adjust it to how they see their current vision of it fitting anyway, right? That could work. Or if not, technically, I thought about this. Whether or not they do it or not is a different story. I guess it's kind of just a me thing. They could do like variants of characters, right? And what I mean by that is like, obviously, say Prime frames within, okay, so we're using a Warframe analogy here, right? So just follow me for a sec. We've got regular frames in Warframe, okay, we're good. Then you've also got the Prime frames, which are basically like these elite, superpowered versions of those characters. But they look, some of them look similar. Obviously, there's some similarities to them, but they look a lot better, a lot more intricate. The designs are far more, like a lot of them are quite different in design to their base characters. There's still like the key, you can identify, right? Like an Optimus Prime is an Optimus Prime, but it's almost like if I were to mirror that or draw a parallel towards Transformers, it's like, oh, you see you see Optimus Prime, and like you see him in different continuities. Like you see a Bayverse Optimus, and then you see like I don't know, like a TF1 Optimus, or like a G1 Optimus, or a War of Full of Cybertron Optimus. You know it's Optimus, right? Don't kid yourself. Like maybe some of the designs are so different to maybe some people would second guess it, but I think maybe like all of us here, at least at this point, we would recognize it. Is that no different to what a frame and a prime frame in Warframe are? That's what I'm kind of, to draw back to what the core crux of the point I was making is, variants could literally just be, right? Or if you want to call them what they were back in development, they were elites. So you had the base Transformer, and then you had like an elite Bumblebee, an elite Optimus Prime. I still think elite is funny, but like, again, if they want to do that, I'd like call them elites, whatever. I don't care what they call them. I'm just going to stick with like variants because it's more, makes sense for like you guys listening. You could have that as a variant and then just do multiple of them. Obviously, I guess, and no, it's not. It's no different to basically having like multiple legendary skins from like characters, right? You can have like, obviously, because I know Prime frames are better statted versions in Warframe. So if you want to take that and reactivate and say a variant or an elite, whatever you want to call it, has better stats, but then you can just have that be like that elite variant, right? But then you can have multiple elite variants, and that's where you could, like, almost in a sense, I've been playing a lot of Warhammer 40k, so like you could literally just take it like the Space Marine system to the foundries, right? Obviously, the Space Marines look, right, pretty identical, but there are different foundries and stuff like that. So, and that's how you get the different looks, right? Anyone who's 40k, if you don't know, I'll keep it brief, but it's basically like different foundries or different like subsections that look slightly different color palettes, right? So again, to gloss over that, Reactivate instead of foundries, well, we could have continuities. Easy, there's an easy idea, is it not? It's basically the exact same thing because you can keep the stats the same across, But then you have like a Bayverse continuity Optimus, right? Or again, like a BotBots or a Prime or an Armada or a G1. And then again, there'll have to be some adjustments made to what like the actual character and the bot mode and the vehicle mode is. Maybe they could structure that off. There's nothing stopping them from using that, but again, it's like you can't exactly get like G1 Megatron. I don't think they're going to bring back like the full-on gun. I'm not sure how that would work, like just a floating gun around the thing. I'm not sure. But again, you guys get what I'm saying. Like even if the designs were adjusted, you could have, instead of foundries from 40k, you could have variants be continuities for characters, and that's how they could pull them in. I don't know, maybe I think that's personally a really good idea. And again, that gives massive potential for like monetization. Maybe that's a bad thing to say, but it's like, let's be real here. The game is going to be monetized if it sticks to this free-to-play plan, which, as far as anyone is aware, is what the current plan is set to be. That's what the core crux of the game is, right? Warframe. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, that could totally work. And again, maybe that might conflict. I don't know, like, perhaps it would be a lot of work, but I think it would be worth it. You could still keep customization aspects. Or maybe if they want to do, it depends on how they design and structure out with modeling the characters, right? If they have certain blockouts for color schemes that you could apply globally, right? When they're building out a character, akin to like, say, the armor system in Destiny, right? Like, oh, you have like a full armor set, but you can also mix and match. Or per se the Halo system, right? Halo Infinite, where you have a bunch of different cores. Actually, it's been a while since I went back and played the game. Did they fix the point where you couldn't mix like Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 armor together? But basically, even if you can do that, blah, blah. It's like you could literally color palette or block out like these different continuity versions of Transformers and Reactivate, right? If that's how they wanted to do it. Or just screw it and just like just bin it anyway. It's like, okay, you can't customize this. Like your Bayverse Optimus is going to look like Bayverse Optimus no matter what you do. I'm personally fine with that. That kind of mirrors basically what they've done in 40k in essence. If you played Space Marine 2, basically what they have done for Chaos side in PvP is Chaos has been extremely limited to customization over the traditional Space Marines, which are the core crux, main focus of the game. Obviously, a lot of people are upset by it. I'm kind of upset by it too. Basically, all you can really do to customize the Chaos on per class is basically just tweak their colors a bit. You can't actually like change their like full Chaos allegiance or anything like to the Dark Gods. Again, this is not a 40k channel, but like it's yeah, even if they translated that to Reactivate, I could understand maybe they don't want to like fully flesh out all customization options past and future to when they add like a TF1 or a Bayverse skin and trying to translate those along with the original design. Maybe that's too much hassle, and we have no idea what they're going to do down the line, whether or not we're going to have stuff like trinkets, armor overlays. Like, I brought this idea up. God, this must be like years old at this point. Thinking about it, I thought about stuff like Energon armor or Energon glows. I thought that would be really sick. Like having like glowing like dark Energon eyes, or having like a dark Energon cape or something that just follows you, or just like capes and pauldrons and like kilts in general, right? I think that would be super sick, right? And it's like maybe those couldn't translate, and maybe it'd be like, again, it kind of gets finicky when I'm just like guessing all of these like trying to mix it in. Maybe that's, again, I'm not a game dev, so don't put my hands up right there, that's not my problem. But it's like a lot of these ideas I feel like are like super sick. Maybe it's just me, but I think they're like sick ideas. And it's like seeing a lot of it come from like other games as well. It's like I really hope, again, like, they say it's Transformers fans, like made by Transformers fans for Transformers fans. I'm just sitting here like, man, like maybe it's just because we haven't gotten anything for so many years at this point. I'm just like, man, what like if the game comes out and it really is just like, oh, Legion, oh, belong to Quintessons because they mine planets, and then that leads back to Unicron because Unicron needs all the energy and wants to just consume everything. And then the story is, oh, Bumblebee wakes up, we go get Cassandra, Delvin, Marcus, Percy, that's our EDC, we take them back to the Teletran hub. Oh, and now we have to teleport here, get some Energon, level up our Teletran hub. Oh, now we have to go save Ratchet. Now we have to go save Ironhide. Oh, here's Starscream. He was chilling. Oh, here's Shockwave. Oh, now we're understanding a bit to the virus. Oh, now we've manufactured your ultimate ability out of like this synthetic Energon that Shockwave and Ratchet have made. and that's how you power your abilities, blah blah. It's like oh no. Maybe it's because I know the game too deep at this point. It's like I hope it's not like that simple and straightforward. Like, especially with how long it's taken to make. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but in that retrospective, I'm like, come on, the customization at this point has got to be off the chain, because like, what on earth? There's only so much, like, because even back in a certain Affinity era, so many cosmetics and stuff were made for characters, and it's like, okay, what has another like 3+ years done? Clearly we're gonna have a lot more than that. There's got to be at least some like there's no way they don't have like 3, 4, 5, 6 plus seasons worth of cosmetic battle pass DLC, if that's still what they're going with, right? Because like, there's no way, dude, like, they better not just dump all of the good cosmetic shit inside of the Emporium, which is like the store. It's nicknamed the Emporium. It's run by Percy Anand, which is the black character in the trailer, the one with the cybernetic gut and robot hand, if you don't know. I would say go watch the trailer, but yeah, just find it on my channel at this point. I don't know. That would be super sick. I guess we kind of tangented off Transformers universe, to be honest. Yeah, I know. We always bring it back to Reactivate, boys. That's how it goes. But like, looking at this, I'm like, I guess to end it off, it's like, man, give us character like in-depth like analysis and like descriptions, right, in videos, whether they be 5 minutes long or whether you have full developer insights that are 40 minutes long. Hey, if Transformers Universe could do it over a decade ago, come on, guys, come on. There's no way you don't, like, I'm talking to the devs, like, just so, you know, I'm just like, you guys have had so long, you guys clearly want to talk about it. Everyone is like just annoyed that they have to wait on their NDAs to show stuff, like, at least as ex devs. It's just like, you better like, you know what I mean? Talk about your game when it comes out. Give us like some proper information, stuff like that. And if you are flashing, like, not flashing off, like if you are fleshing out the transformersreactivate.com domain properly, and it has been outbid properly, have like forums on it as well. I don't personally like forums. I'm just going to be real. I don't like forums. I think forums are lame. They're old. They're janky, and they look like ass. Okay, I said it. I don't care. It's just bad. I'd rather get it through like a Twitter post or something. I don't know, maybe that just makes me like a Zoomer or something, god knows. But it's like, even still, that would be a great way to do it. And there's literally, again, like, Space Marine 2 literally built out fresh forms to carry out stuff like game balances, game balances, oh Jesus, we're going to be doing too long, chat, we've been doing this too long. Game balance patches and stuff like future cosmetics for their DLC, like future foundries and additions they want to make. Do that for Activate, man. Do that. It's so easy. The fan base is there. It's not like it's an original IP. You could just ask people what they want and people would be gladly to give it to you. Hell, I'll probably end up doing it anyway. I'm sure you guys already tell me anyway, or through the ideas section in the Discord. It's just like, everyone has ideas. This game, like, there's no reason for it to fail, literally. Like, there's just no, like, there's no reason at all. Brand relevancy all-time high. People want to play the old games, they want to play the new games. They just want to play something in this universe. It's got like a semi-grim dark story. Again, I don't know how deep, I don't know what's being reworked on it at this point, right? It's been so long that basically nothing could apply or everything could apply. But it's like, don't, no, man. No. Yeah, I think we're good at the I'm cooked chat, so it's been like 38 minutes. Well, if you guys are here, you're enjoying the long ones, hey, leave a comment, leave a like, sub, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, blah, blah. That's me, peace.